keep forgetting that I can just do this. My problem is solved. Ooh. I bet that was loud. Drag story time? No. Far from it. We don't play that drag story bullshit here. I'm the furthest thing from a drag queen there is. How you doing, Hemi? Hope all is well. Oi, Char! Welcome to the stream, sir. Hope all is well. I've got some making up to do. I ain't been able to do a Sunday stream for a few weeks now. Cheese and crackers, man. Cheese and crackers. Oh, yo, what's up, everybody? It's Chaos for You 728, and I'm back again with finally able to do some more of my reading stuff that I started doing the last couple of weeks. You know, with it being December and all. Well, Thanksgiving didn't help much either. It's been very. For those that don't know, I work at a church, so it's been very busy with it being coming up on Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that. So I haven't been able to do my normal Sunday streams. I haven't been able to do my journey through the scriptures, and I haven't been able to do this, which is what I really want to read. So we're gonna do we're gonna pick up where I left off, because the last time I did this, I was dead. I couldn't. I tried to stay as long as I could, but I kept nodding off because fuck, man, work, Take God dang. It takes a lot out of you. Trying to juggle it all. We're gonna get some Jeffrey Paul going this time around because that classical music, I love the fuck out of it, but oh my god, and I love it, but it gets me too relaxed and I end up starting to nod off and shit, getting lost in the music. You know, people get lost in the sauce, I get lost in the music and just end up nodding off to Slumberland in the process. Someone just joined the Discord. I'm gonna assume it's Outlaw.
It is. Hello,
Oh wow!
guys. Kitten.
I felt that disturbance in the force.
Hello.
We gonna minimize this. Tune in.
How is the gang today?
I'm gonna blink out of it. Ah, wrong one. Fuck. Oops. I'm gonna blink out of existence. So far, so good. Oh, yo, primo. How you doing? I'm gonna try and keep up with the chat. But I gotta get through this reading. There's a lot still to cover, and I want to get through chapters 9 and 10 during this stream. So it's gonna be fun. Got an hour and 5 left according to this. So that's based off of me, how I read, apparently. But we're about to prove this fucker wrong. If anybody has any questions that I may be able to answer, feel free to ask them. I do not have all the answers. I do not claim to have all the answers, but I know enough to maybe get you pointed in the right direction. So we'll pick up. This is chapter 7. Oh wait, we gotta do the christening here. Ine Chuck. No. Oh God, I got so big. Cheers, bitches.
Apache Chief. Ine Chuck. Kitten, how are you today, sir, ma'am? Ma'am, sir?
Chaos for you, Nanny Chuck. Blink out of existence. Oh, God damn it.
Did you just steal one of my gags, Chaos?
I did a reverse Ine Chuck.
Ow.
And said Chuck ne e or een and shrunk. So I followed up to Ine Chuck with a Chuck ne e or een.
Oh, somebody just joined.
Ooh that. Hey, what's up, Chart?
Hello.
Oh my God. Woo!
Hey, Outlaw.
Yes, sir.
You got a soup Bingus. He copied your bullshit. He made a pussy pie.
Did what now?
Oh
He
yeah.
copied your bullshit. He made a pussy pie. Got a soup.
His bussy barn.
Angus. Angus, what are you doing, man?
Alright. Let's get on with this dumpster fire.
But,
well, I think it was Riggs that came up with the idea, though.
Yeah.
Pussy boy.
Yeah. So for those that want to know where we're at, you're going to have to go back and watch the last one that I did. Ooh, I hear myself. Someone needs to mute me on their stream. Thank you. Implicitly denied the redemptive role of Jesus, a document contained in a small book titled The Jewish People and the Holy Scriptures in the Christian Bible. It is no surprise that this Jewish Catholic doctrine was drafted by a Jesuit named Albert Van Hoy. The Jewish influence over the Roman Catholic institution and its doctrines is manifest in the document of the Vatican Commission for Religious Relations with Judaism, some symbol 4, which states, "We propose in the future to remove from the Gospel of St. John the term the Jews, where it is used in a negative sense, and to translate it the enemies of Christ. So, okay, so before I go any further, right now it's talking about how they removed the Jews from their how they removed the word Jews from the Bible to prevent anti-Semitism, which I don't know why they're trying to protect these people. At a speech at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Roman Catholic Cardinal Joseph Bernardine stated, "There is no need for theological reflection, especially with what many consider to be the problematic New Testament's text. Retranslation and reinterpretation certainly need to be included among the goals we pursue in the effort to eradicate anti-Semitism." The Gospel of John is generally considered among the most problematic of all New Testament books in its outlook towards Jews and Judaism. This teaching of John about the Jews, which resulted from the historical conflict between the church and synagogue in the latter part of the 1st century CE, can no longer be taught as authentic doctrine or used as catechesis by contemporary Christianity. Christians today must see that such teachings can no longer be regarded as definitive teachings in light of our improved understanding. So they're essentially hiding the past and rewording things, changing the Bible altogether, which, you're not really supposed to change the Word of God, and the Word of God is in the Bible. You just gotta find it. You just gotta know what you're looking for. In ancient Palestine, the Jews worked hand in hand with the Romans to crucify Christ. Now the Jews work hand in glove with the Roman Catholic Church in their effort to eradicate Christ's gospel. The great harlot of Babylon in Revelation 17:5 has mystery written upon her forehead. She is called Babylon because she is Babylonian. She is a mystery because she is masquerading as the Christian religion. Christian labels have been applied to Babylonian paganism to come up with the mystery religion we know as the Roman Catholic Church. Both the Talmudic Jews and the Vatican share the common Babylonian root. The Jesuits, there you go, Hammy, eat a dick. Jesuits, French fuck. Nurtured the Babylonian Kabbalism and Roman Catholic doctrine. The similarities between the imperious whorish woman in Ezekiel 16:14-40 and the mother of harlots in Revelation 17:5 are unmistakable. They are one and the same. Roman Catholicism is an esoteric version of Babylonian Judaism. The Roman Church appears Gentile to the uninitiated, but it is Jewish to its core. Orthodox Judaism appears to the uninitiated to be the Old Testament theology, but it is actually Babylonian to its core. The extreme oath of the Jesuits, which is given to a Jesuit priest when he is elevated to a position of command, contains the following provisions. Oh, I think Hemi left. I didn't get a reply out of him. Get some music going, y'all.
Mr. Hemi, what say you now, sir?
What do you have to say for yourself? I declare and swear that His Holiness the Pope is Christ's vice regent and is the true and only head of the Catholic and Universal Church throughout the earth. Let's get that. There we go. That should be good. Hey. Oh, it's because of that. Therefore, to the utmost of my power, I shall and will defend this doctrine and His Holiness' right and customs against all usurpers of the heretical or Protestant authority, whatever, especially the Lutheran Church of Germany, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, and the now pretended authority of the Church of England and Scotland. The branches of the same, now where I do now renounce and disown any allegiance as due to any heretical king, prince, or state named Protestant or liberals, or obedience to any of their laws, magistrates, or officers. What we got here, Jesuits. That I will go to any part of the world whatsoever, without murmuring, and wills be submissive in all things whatsoever communicated to me. I do further promise and declare that I will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war, secretly or openly, against all heretics, Protestants, and liberals, as I am directed to do, to extirpate and exterminate them from the face of the whole earth, and that I will spare neither sex, age, nor condition, and that I will hang, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, and crush their infants' heads against the wall, in order to annihilate forever their execrable race. Execrable. I've never heard that word before used in that, or that's a new one to me.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah, it sounds almost like another certain religion out there. Actually, it kind of sounds like Old Testament Judaism, you know? If you commit adultery, you get stoned to death. That one's saying, yeah, cannot be done openly. I will secretly use the poison cup, the strangulation cord, the steel of the poniard, and the leaden bullet, regardless of the honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the person or persons, whatsoever may be their condition in life, either public or private, as I at any time may be directed to do so by any agent of the Pope or superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Faith of the Society of Jesus. What we got in here? Bingus, enter the chat.
Pussy barn.
The Bussy Barn. The Bussy Barn! Speaking of
Is that what I'm hearing now?
bussies, the Jesuits are the secret army of the Roman Church. They are often referred to as the Pope's militia. In fact, the leader of the Jesuits is called the Jesuit General. He is unlike any other leader of the Catholic order, because the Jesuit General is independent of the Catholic bishops and cardinals. He answers directly to the Pope. Because of the power and influence of the Jesuit General, he is known as the Black Pope. The Jesuit General has the purported authority to absolve persons of the sins of bigamy, murder, or any harm done to others, as long as the matter is not publicly known and the cause of a scandal. Pope Gregory XII gave the Jesuits the authority to deal in commerce and banking, which has made the order quite wealthy. The popes have threatened princes, kings, and anyone else who interferes with the Jesuits with excommunication, latae sentiente. In one of the most authoritative works on the Jesuits, J. Huber, professor of Catholic theology, wrote, "Here is a proven fact. The constitutions of the Jesuits repeat 500 times that one must see Christ in the person of the Jesuit General." If the Jesuits are a crypto-Jewish order that hates the Roman Catholic Church, as alleged by Torrell, why would it become a priestly order within the church and become its greatest defender with extreme oaths of obedience to the Pope? Because the Roman Church offers the Jews an ideal cover through which to wage war against Christianity. This is evidenced by the fact that the Jesuits virtually controlled the Council of Trent, which produced anathema after anathema against Bible-believing Christians and fundamental Christian doctrine. This same Jesuit organization, however, opposed the Inquisition. Why? Because Inquisition, in part, was initiated to root out crypto-Jewry inside the Catholic Church. Of course, an organization founded and controlled by crypto-Jews would oppose a strategy that would expose its own Jewish core. Once it shows up with 76 times 4, I will send them over to the barn. The tool shed should be full right now. Yeah, Bingus's bussy barn. I'm saying Jesuit.
No, Bingus. Can only be one
So,
tool shed.
if the tool
Bussy
shed
barn
is overloaded, the bussy barn can catch the overfill. So,
Pussy barn is no.
since it's your tool shed outlaw, you get to dictate how many people can be in there at one time.
Bingus,
So,
I
how many
appreciate the
people-
flattery of impostering my tool shed.
say what? 4? 1 for each corner? Maybe 1 in the middle? That's playing risky, but you call that one the danger zone?
I do. I am flattered by your bussy barn, but
Tool set is only for VIPs. The scrubs get to go to Bingus's bussy barn, where instead of cleaned daily, it's cleaned monthly.
oh jeez. Oh
In Bingus's bussy barn, the No-No Squares song set for repeat.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to cease and desist. Because the tool shed is copyrighted infringement.
I just took your turd and polished it up and made it his own idea.
There's only one tool shed here.
Is there though? You say there's a super secret tool shed.
Huh?
Uh.
Yeah. My tool shed.
Ha ha! All hail the tool
I
shed.
guess what is this blasphemy? I will not have imposters to the tool shed.
Oh, take it as flattery.
Oh, I am flattered.
Then go drop some flattery in Bingus's bussy barn. Oh my god.
All hail the tool shed.
Oh.
Exactly, Char. Tell him what time it is. Tool shed time.
The hierarchy of Orthodox Jews hate Gentiles. Ostensibly, Gentile organizations like the Roman Church offer an ideal front for which to strike against the hated Christians. That is why God refers to the great harlot of Babylon as mystery. The Roman Church appears to the world to be a Gentile religious organization, yet it is to its core Jewish. As long as the Roman Church does the bidding of the Jews, they will defend it. Once the Roman Church is no longer useful, they will shed it like a snake sheds its old skin. It seems that the Jews have the destruction of the Roman Church all planned out. The following is a passage from the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion that seem to foretell the destruction of the Vatican by the nations of the world. Take a bong real quick. Oh yeah, baby. Tastes so good. When the time comes, finally to destroy the papal court, the finger of an invisible hand will point the nations toward this court. When, however, the nations fling themselves upon it, we shall come forward in the guise of its defenders, as if to save excessive bloodshed, so the people that come to defend it need to die too. By this diversion, we shall penetrate to its very bowels and be sure we shall never come out again until we have gnawed through the entire strength of this place. That is very similar to the prophecy found in the book of Revelation. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Revelation 17, 16, 18. The horns of the beast are 10 kings on the beast that is being ridden by the great harlot, who sits on 7 mountains, the Vatican. Revelation 17, the protocols, have set forth the planned destruction of the Vatican. The protocols seem also to have provided for the entrance of the Antichrist. The King of the Jews will be the real Pope of the universe, the Patriarch of the International Church. In fact, the Jesuits, the great defenders of the Catholic faith, have actually exercised their power to undermine the authority of the Church and bring it to its knees. The reason the Jesuits retaliated against the Catholic Church was that the Jesuits were at one time dissolved as a Catholic order because of their subversive conduct. The subversion of the European nations by the Jesuits became so great that an immense amount of military and political pressure was brought against the Pope by the European nations. Only Pope Clement XIII decided on the 3rd of February 1769 to dissolve the Jesuits. While Jesuits are under an oath of allegiance to the Pope, that oath is secondary to the extreme oath of allegiance to the Jesuit general. Okay? I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion or will of my own, or any mental reservation whatever, even as a corpse or cadaver. Perinde ac cadaver, but unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope of Jesus Christ. The night before Pope Clement XIII was to execute the dissolution, however, he suddenly fell ill and died. Prior to his death, he cried out, "I am dying. It is a very dangerous thing to attack the Jesuits." His successor, Pope Clement XIV, was also put under tremendous political pressure to dissolve the Jesuits, but he resisted doing so for 3 years, until the political tension finally forced his hand. Pope Clement XV issued the papal brief of dissolution, Dominus ac Redemptor, on August 16, 1773. Pope Clement XIV knew that the significance of such an act to the papacy. He exclaimed, "I have cut off my right hand." In addition, Pope Clement XIV knew that by signing the brief dissolving the Jesuits, he was signing his own death warrant. Soon after signing the brief, the letters ISSSV appeared on the palace walls in the Vatican. Pope Clement XIV knew what it meant and explained that it stood for In Settembre Sarà Sede Vacante. Translates means, in September, the see will be vacant. The Pope will be dead. Pope Clement XIV was poisoned and died on September 22nd, 1774. Interestingly, it was just 3 years after Pope Clement XIV's suppression of the Jesuits that the subversive organization, the Illuminati, was purportedly founded by and trained Jesuit named Adam Weishaupt, 1776. Weishaupt was a Jew and a professor of canon law at Ingolstadt University, which was a Jesuit university at the center of the Jesuit Counter-Reformation. Alberto Rivera, a former Jesuit priest, stated that the occult Illuminati organization was not founded by Weishaupt, which it wasn't. It was just revitalized by him. Many believe, but in fact was established long before Weishaupt. The Illuminati is in fact a reincarnation of the ancient Alumbrados, whose one-time leader was Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. The Illuminati was established by Lorenzo Ricco, the Jesuit general in 1776, who used his disciple Adam Weishaupt as the front man for the new organization, which was really not new at all. The Jesuits, having just been suppressed by the Pope in 1773, found it necessary to establish the Illuminati, which was an alliance between the Jesuits and the very powerful Ashkenazi our little conservative friend Ben Shapiro is one of these Ashkenazi Jews. The purpose of the Weishaupt initially was to avenge the papal suppression of the Jesuits by rooting out all religion and overturning... I lost my spot. Overturning the governments of the world, bringing them under a single world government, controlled of course by the Illuminati, under the authority of their God. That world government is commonly referred to by the Illuminati as the New World Order. The god of the Illuminati is Satan. Eric John Phelps, in his book, The Vatican Assassins, explains, these 41 years between their suppression in 1773 by Pope Clement XIV and their reestablishment by Pope Pius VII in 1814, that's when the Bolshevik Revolution happened too. It's either 1814 or 1914. Were absolutely golden for the Society of Jesus. For the sons of the Loyola punished all their enemies, including the Dominican priest, perfected inner workings between themselves and Freemasonry, creating alliance between the House of Rothschild in establishing the Illuminati, punished and absorbed the Knights of Malta. They used the Orthodox Catherine of Russia and Lutheran Frederick of Prussia to conquer and divide Poland, rendering the Pope's bull of suppression of no effect in the Roman Catholic land. They caused the French Revolution, beheaded a Bourbon king and a Habsburg queen as punishment for being expelled from France and Austria. With Napoleon the Freemason, they drove the Bourbons from their throne in Spain and the Braganzas from their throne in Portugal. They even attempted to take Palestine from the Muslims like the Crusaders of old. The company's most important victories were both religious and political. They deeply penetrated the Russian Orthodox Church and Germany's Lutheran Church, its Tübingen University specifically. Politically, they took control of the Crown and the Bank of England. For this reason, England, with Viscount Palmerston, would never go to war with France again. It would conduct the Pope's opium wars against people of China, just like the company with its CIA and Mafia Commission is presently conducting a massive drug trade against the heretic and liberal people of the American Empire. The Jesuits also captured the papacy with the Vatican, along with its landed church properties the world over. And for this reason, the Papal Caesar, occupying Satan's sacred office of the papacy, would never suppress the Society of Jesuits ever again. The secret Illuminati organization was the hidden guiding hand behind the brutal French Revolution of 1787, during which 300,000 people were massacred in a godless orgy of violence. The rage by the Jesuits and their reconstituted Illuminati culminated in 1798 with the capture of the Pope himself. Napoleon's General Berthier invaded Rome, took the Pope Pius VI prisoner, held him until death. The Roman Catholic Church had learned its lesson. On August 7, 1814, the Jesuits were restored as a Catholic order by Pope Pius VII. John Adams wrote to Thomas Jefferson in 1816, "I am not happy about the rebirth of the Jesuits. Swarms of them will present themselves under more disguises ever taken by even a chief of the Bohemians, as printers, writers, publishers, school teachers, etc. If ever an association of people deserved eternal damnation on this earth and in hell, it is the Society of Loyola. Yet with our system of religious liberty, we can but offer them a refuge," Thomas Jefferson answered Adams. "Like you, I object to the Jesuits' reestablishment, which makes light given way to darkness." In 1835, Samuel Morse, the great inventor of the telegraph, echoed the concerns of Jefferson and Adams. He described the Jesuits as their threat to the United States as follows: "And do Americans need to be told what Jesuits are? If any are ignorant, let them inform themselves of their history without delay. No time is to be lost. Their workings are before you in every day's events. They are a secret society, a sort of Masonic order, with superadded features of most revolting odiousness and 1,000 times more dangerous. They are not confined to one class on society. They are not merely priests or priests of one religious creed. They are merchants and lawyers and editors and men of any profession and no profession, having no outward badge in this country by which to be recognized. Excuse me. They are about in all your society. They can assume any character of angels of light or ministries of darkness to accomplish their one great end, the service upon which they are sworn to start at any moment, in any direction, and for any service, commanded by the general of their order, bound to no family, community, or country by the ordinary ties which bind men, and sold for life to the cause of the Roman pontiff. The concerns of Morse, Adams, and Jefferson were justified. Once being re-established as a Catholic order, the Jesuits did not miss a beat. During the 19th century, they fomented revolutions throughout the world, attempting to bring to power oppressive despots whom they would then control. They were at one time or another expelled from Russia, 1820, Belgium, Portugal, 1834, the Italian states, 1859, Spain 3 times, 1820, 1835, 1868, Germany, 1872, Guatemala in 1872, Mexico in 73, Brazil in 1874, Ecuador in 75, Colombia in 75, Costa Rica in 1884, France twice in 1880 and 1901. They caused the Swiss Civil War in 1847. As a result, they were banished from Switzerland in 1848, up until the year 2000. The Swiss Constitution, Article 51, forbade the Jesuits, there's your redneck for you, Jesuits, from engaging in any cultural or educational activity in Switzerland. In the year 2000, Switzerland ratified a new constitution. That's when they got a new government, in which Article 51 was removed. Those are just a sampling of the over 70 countries from which the Jesuits have been expelled for conducting subversive activities. The Jesuits' just subversion has continued to modern times, causing the Jesuits to be expelled from Haiti in 1964 and Burma in 1966. To this day, they are instigating communist revolutions in South America. The Jesuits' new brand of South American communism is known as liberation theology. This crap's made its way up here. Jesuits have a long and sordid history of distorting moral obligations and practicing and advocating situational ethics. For example, God commands without exception that thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Exodus 20:16. The Jesuits, on the other hand, permit the use of ambiguous terms to mislead a judge or outright lying under oath, if the witness makes a mental reservation. The Jesuits teach that if a young girl is pregnant, she may obtain an abortion if the pregnancy would bring dishonor to her or a member of the clergy. They do not stop there. Another Jesuit maxim states, if a father yielding to temptation abuses a woman as she publicizes what has happened and because of it dishonors him, the same father can kill her to avoid disgrace. That is not the only cause that is justification for murder. The Jesuits further teach that a monk or a priest is allowed to kill those who are ready to slander him or his community. Immorality is not unique to the Jesuit order only. The doctrines of the Catholic Church allow for all sorts of situational ethics. Thomas Aquinas, the most influential source of economic and theological doctrines for the Catholic Church stated that it is lawful and not a sin for a man to steal another's property in order to fulfill a basic need. That's bullshit. It's a sin to steal, period. Aquinas' view was that all goods are community goods, and therefore it is not a sin to take another's property when you need it. That is in fact the official position of the Roman Church today, as expressed by the Second Vatican Council. If one is in extreme necessity, he has the right to procure for himself what he needs out of the riches of others. Well, shit! What are you on about, Jackal? Still trying to break this down and prove it bullshit. I'm not sure what you're talking about. That a certain group of people are controlling everything? No, it's not actually. All you gotta do is go look up the papers. It's all there. You just gotta look. You clearly, or you clearly haven't looked. Well, this is kind of this is going over the history of everything and putting names and faces to those names and all of that stuff. That's what this is doing. Rabbit holes that I've gone down that I don't have names for in this book. But all you gotta do is follow the rabbit holes. They all overlap, and ironically, they all overlap in this book too. Oh, what's going on here? We've got something going on. Oscar Medinella. Thank you for that subscription. It's greatly appreciated. And I gotta find my place again. Here we are. This is actually, if you hear these, if you listen to these civil rights activists, they actually say this stuff. If you need it, take it. What is the authority for this ethic? It is found in the Talmud. In Baba Bathra 54b, it states, the property of a heathen is on the same footing as desert land. Whoever first occupies it acquires ownership. Compare that to the 8th commandment of God, thou shalt not steal. Exodus 20:15. Furthermore, in Baba Kama 113b, it states that if one finds lost property, it must be returned if the owner is a Jew. However, if the owner is a Gentile, it can be kept. That's kind of a dick thing to do. It is to your brother that you make restoration, but you need not make restoration to a heathen. The Jesuits are zealous persecutors of Christians or any whom they view as an enemy of the Vatican. Jesuits take a solemn oath to destroy Protestant Christians and destroy any government that offers protection to Protestant Christians. They are the natural enemies of liberty. Their whole system is based on thoughtless, ruthless, blind obedience. Ignatius himself, writing to his Jesuits in Portugal, said, "We must see blacks as whites if the church says so. Jesuits are the subversive ambassadors of the Catholic Church, bringing chaos and ruin to all nations they infiltrate. They believe that the Catholic Church has the right and duty to kill heretics because it is by is by fire and sword that heresy can be extirpated. Repentance cannot be allowed to save them, just as repentance is not allowed to save civil criminals. For the highest good of the church is the unity of the faith, and this cannot be preserved unless heretics are put to death. Alberto Rivera, a former Jesuit priest, who saved by the grace of God and came out of the Jesuit priesthood, the Jesuits made numerous attempts to kill him before he could reveal the secrets of the Jesuits. He survived the attempts on his life and exposed much about sinister methods and motives of the Jesuits. Now, these groups do exist, Jackal. There's actually a Jesuit college across the pond. They're here too. Anywhere they teach feminist theology, anything of neo-Marxist doctrine. There you go, man. Franz Werns, the Jesuit general from 1906 to 1915, stated that the church can condemn heretics to death, for any rights they have are only through our tolerance. And these rights are apparent, not real. Excuse me. That view of heretics having no rights is very similar to the philosophy of the Jewish Talmud. Sanhedrin 57b provides that if a heathen robs another or a Jew, the property must be returned. If, however, a Jew robs a heathen, the property does not have to be returned to the heathen. That section of the Talmud also states that if a heathen murders another heathen or a Jew, the heathen should suffer the death penalty. If, however, a Jew kills a heathen, there is no death penalty. For example, Jewish Rabbi Moshe Levinger was sentenced to a mere 5 months in jail by an Israeli court for the unprovoked, cold-blooded murder in September 1988 of a Palestinian shopkeeper, Hassan Salah. Prior to entering prison, Rabbi Levinger was feted at a party by Israeli President Chaim Herzog and Israeli Army General Yitzhak Mordechai. Rabbi Levinger was released from prison after only serving 3 months. Baba Kama 38a expressly states that Canaanites are outside the protection of the civil law of Israel. Thus, a Canaanite has no remedy against a Jew whose ox gores the Canaanite's ox. But if a Canaanite's ox gores a Jew ox, the Canaanite shall pay in full the damages. Well, that's pretty Jewish of you, man. Well. I don't know where some of these rules for thee, not for me laws are coming from. Professor Israel Shahak explains, according to the Jewish religion, the murder of a Jew is a capital offense and one of the 3 most heinous sins, the other 2 being idolatry and adultery. Jewish religious courts and secular authorities are commanded to punish even beyond the limits of the ordinary administration of justice anyone guilty of murdering a Jew. A Jew who indirectly causes the death of another Jew is, however, only guilty of what Talmudic law calls a sin against the laws of heaven, to be punished by God rather than by man. When the victim is a Gentile, the position is quite different. A Jew who murders a Gentile is guilty only of a sin against the laws of heaven, not punishable by court. To cause indirectly to death of a Gentile is no sin at all. Oops, shit happens. That's how it would be for me. If one of these people were to kill me. Whoops. Thus, one of the 2 most important commentators on the Shulchan Aruch explains that when it comes to a Gentile, one must not lift one's hand to harm him, but one may harm him indirectly. For instance, by removing a ladder after he had fallen into a crevice. There is no prohibition there, because it was not done directly. He points out, however, that an act leading indirectly to a Gentile's death is forbidden if it may cause the spread of hostility towards Jews. A Gentile murderer who happens to be under Jewish jurisdiction may be executed whether the victim was Jewish or not. However, if the victim was Gentile and the murderer converts to Judaism, he is not punished. Oops. The animus by Jews towards Gentiles includes a prohibition against giving medical treatment to Gentiles. Israel Shahak explains. Stop all of the noticing begets. I'll notice what I want. SCE, you're welcome to the stream. Hope all is well. I mean, the only reason you'd want me to stop noticing is if you were one of these people. Are you one of these people, SCE? Is the Master Wrench one of these people that we need to be looking out for? I certainly hope not, because a lot of us respect you, sir. And I don't like losing respect for people and feeling indifferent towards them. I know you're kidding. That's why it's listed under educational. It's people need to know. And if they want to know, they're free to come know. It's up to them if they want to go out and do the same footwork I did to go look this shit up. A lot of this stuff I've come across before I came across this book. So, this is only confirming the fuck out of a lot of shit that I've already found. Oh, yeah. Professor Israel Shah explained. Wait. I'm down here. Ah, fuck. According to the halakha, the duty to save the life of a fellow Jew is paramount. Supersedes all other religious obligations and interdictions, excepting only the prohibitions against the three most heinous sins of adultery, including incest, murder, and idolatry. As for Gentiles, the basic Talmudic principle is that their lives must not be saved. Although it is also forbidden to murder them outright, the Talmud itself expressed this in the maxim, Gentiles are neither to be lifted out of a well nor hauled down into it. Maimonides explains, as for Gentiles with whom we are not at war, their death must not be caused, but it is forbidden to save them if they are at the point of death. If, for example, one of them is seen falling into the sea, he should not be rescued, for it is written, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy fellow, but a Gentile is not thy fellow. In particular, a Jewish doctor must not treat a Gentile patient. Maimonides himself, an illustrious physician, is quite explicit on this. In another passage, he repeats the distinction between thy fellow and a Gentile, and concludes, and from this learn ye that it is forbidden to heal a Gentile, even for payment. However, the refusal of a Jew, particularly a Jewish doctor, to save the life of a Gentile may, if it becomes known, antagonize powerful Gentiles, as so put Jews in danger. Where such danger exists, the obligation to avert it supersedes the ban on helping the Gentile. Thus, Maimonides continues, but if you fear him or his hostility, cure him for payment, though you are forbidden to do so without payment. In fact, Maimonides himself was Saladin's personal physician. His insistence on demanding payment, presumably in order to make sure that the act is not one of a human charity, but an unavoidable duty, is however not absolute. For in another passage he allows a Gentile whose hostility feared to be treated even gratis if it is unavoidable. Take it easy, SCE. The whole doctrine, the ban on saving a Gentile's life or healing him, and the suspension of this ban in which where there is fear of hostility is repeated virtually verbatim by other major authorities, including the 14th century Arbah Hodarim and Kuros Beit Yosef and Shulhan Aruch Beit Yosef adds, quoting Maimonides, and it is permissible to try out a drug on a heathen if this serves a purpose, and this is repeated also by a famous Moses Israelis. I'm I'll pause for a second. I can't highlight, but Big Pharma likes to try out drugs on us heathens an awful lot, you know, and who controls Big Pharma? Geez, I wonder. You know, man, you know, the truth just kind of jumps out at you. You know, you just gotta go fishing for it, man. The consensus of halachic authorities is that the term Gentile is the above doctrine refers to all non-Jews. That Jewish attitude towards non-Jews is the same attitude the crypto-Jewish Jesuits have towards Christians. Jesuit priests are subjected to certain spiritual exercises, which were first devised by Ignatius Loyola. During the spiritual exercises, the subject becomes possessed and controlled by a devil. Yeah. See? Yeah. We're learning things. You know, Kanye West wasn't wrong. I'm just saying. Everyone got mad at him, but nobody said he was wrong. We immune into him spiritual forces which he would find very difficult to eliminate later. Forces more lasting than all the best principles and doctrines. These forces can come up again to the surface, sometimes after years of not even mentioning them, and become so imperative that the will finds itself unable to oppose any obstacle and has to follow their irresistible impulses. Between 1569 and 1605, the Jesuits orchestrated no less than 11 plots against Protestant England, which involved invasion, rebellion, and assassination. Each is known by the leader of the treachery. Ridolfi Saunders. What the hell is Saunders doing in this shit, man? I knew he was crazy, but shit. Gregory the 13th was a king. Campion Parsons, Duke of Guise, Ellen Throgmorton Perry, Babington, Sixtus V. Philip II. Oh, that's a 5. Philip II of Spain, York, Walpole, Southwell, and Guy Fawkes. A hell of a name. In the 1586 Babington plot, the Jesuits, along with other Catholics, planned to kill Protestant Queen Elizabeth I. Place Catholic Mary Stuart, Queen of Scot, on the throne of England and bring England under subjection to the Pope of Rome. That plot was discovered and Mary was executed for her troubles. Ooh. Yeah, fuck around. After the failed Babington plot, the Pope, in league with Philip II of Spain, planned to invade England and bring it under papal control. In 1588, Spain brought the 136-ship Spanish Armada against England. The sovereign god of the universe whipped up a freak storm which devastated the Armada and allowed England with only 30 ships to defeat Spain after an 8-hour sea battle. On November 5th, 1605, Jesuit-led Roman Catholic conspirators planned to kill King James I and the entire English Parliament by blowing up the House of Lords. They placed 20 barrels of gunpowder under the House of Lords. The plan was to blow up the House of Lords when the Lords, Commons, and Kings were all assembled on November 5th, 1605, for the opening of Parliament. The plot, however, was discovered and the conspirators were captured. To this day, that event is simply referred to as the Gunpowder Plot. November 5th is a national holiday in England, commemorating the Catholic conspiracy in the Gunpowder Plot. The holiday is called Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes was one of the Gunpowder Plot conspirators. He did sell him out, SCE. He did. He wanted that he wanted that cheddar. What better way to get that cheddar than call out, you know, the tiny hats. All nations should learn from the experience of Protestant England and understand the threat that Rome and the Jesuits pose to any free country. The Roman Catholic Church uses religious superstition to usurp the authority and undermine independence of any state. King Henry VIII cast off the yoke of Rome and declared that he was to be the head of the church in England. In May 1538, the Pope sought his revenge for the separation of the Church of England. Oh, it was your church and state. Huh. From Rome. The Pope excommunicated all in Ireland who recognized the supremacy of the King of England or any ecclesiastical or civil power greater than that of the Roman Catholic Church. The events are recounted in the classic Foxe's Book of Martyrs. Short time after this, the Pope sent over to Ireland, directed to the Archbishop of Armagh and his clergy, a bull of excommunication against all who had or should own the king's supremacy within the Irish nation, denouncing a curse on all of them and theirs who should not, within 40 days, acknowledge to their confessors that they had done amiss in so doing. Archbishop Brown gave notice of this in a letter dated Dublin, May 1538. Part of the form of confession or vow sent over to these Irish papists ran as follows. I do further declare him or her, father or mother, brother or sister, son or daughter, husband or wife, uncle or aunt, nephew or niece, kinsman or kinswoman, master or mistress, and all others, nearest or dearest relations, friend or acquaintances whatsoever accursed, that either do or shall hold for the time to come any ecclesiastical or civil power above the authority of the mother church, or that do or shall obey for the time to come any of her the mother of churches, opposers or enemies, or contrary to the same, or which I have here sworn unto. So God, the Blessed Virgin, Saint Peter, Saint Paul, and the holy evangelists help me. Etc. Is an exact agreement with the doctrines promulgated by the councils of Lateran and Constance, which, sorry, my reading's getting terrible now. I'm gonna finish out this chapter and be done with it, y'all. Which expressly declare that no favor should be shown to heretics, nor faith kept with them, that they ought to be excommunicated and condemned, and their estate confiscated, and that princes are obliged by a solemn oath to root them out of their respective dominions. That means they're basically taking all their property. That's some authority, and the worst part is they come in with their army and take your property by force that way. They hide behind the law to oppress you. The political and religious attacks against Protestant England by Rome continued up to and beyond 1641. 1641, the Beast of Rome planned a murderous insurrection in Ireland. The objective of the barbarous conspiracy was to murder all Protestants in Ireland, without exception. In this instance, as in many others, we find that Jesuits leading the murderous and maniacal charge. The Jesuits planned their hellish imprimatur on the massacre by beginning it on the feast day of their founder, Ignatius of Loyola. Ecclesiastical. Thank you. Makes it easier. I'm trying. When the dust finally settled on the genocide, Rome had exterminated 150,000 innocent men, women, and children. This massacre illustrates the danger of a Roman Catholic majority in any country, no matter who seems to control the political reins. There's a lot of Roman Catholics in our political system, by the way. When the lawful government is at odds with Rome, there will be hell to pay. Rome is a master at mass insurrection through the incitation of base barbarism, who have sold their soul to the superstition of the Roman cult. The Irish genocide was planned and orchestrated from the Vatican. It was executed through the leadership of the Jesuits and the other priests of Rome. He whose eyes let him see through the pious facade of Rome. He who is understanding, let him understand the danger posed by Rome and the Jesuits. The Roman Catholic Church never changes. King Henry VIII's error is all too obvious, for there is only one head of God's church, and that is Jesus Christ. I almost said Jesuit there. The Pope was incensed at the insolence of King Henry. The Pope, however, was not angry because the King blasphemously claimed the authority of Christ as head of the church, but because the king had replaced him, the supreme pontiff of Rome. As the head of the church, the King of England was politically too strong for the Pope to do anything to change the situation in England. Oops. Go back. Go back. Though he tried. Consequently, the monarch of England to this day is the head of the Church of England, known as the Anglican or Episcopal Church. The Episcopal Church is one of the harlot daughters of the Roman Catholic mother of harlots. See Revelation 17:5. For the most part, the leadership of the Episcopal Church are not Christian. They are rather the proverbial rejected tares growing in Christ's wheat field. Like Paul Elam said, there are no male victims, there's just volunteers. Yeah, pretty much. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among that wheat, and went in his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appears the tares also. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? Said unto them, the enemy hath done this. Servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, to gather the wheat into my barn. And Jesus sent the multitudes away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Matthew 13:24-30 and 36-43. Yeah. It's always been compromised, SCE. The Vatican's in bed with the RCC. I mean, they work hand in hand. The church and state kind of got back together, and they're porking out a lot of weird things. Let us look at some of the tares in the Episcopal Church. In August 2003, the House of Deputies for the Episcopal Church elected a Gene Robinson to be the Bishop of New Hampshire. Gene Robinson left his wife and two daughters to live with another man in an openly sodomite relationship. He publicly promotes and encourages the sodomite lifestyle. He founded the Concord, New Hampshire chapter of Outright, which is a very openly, yeah, they like to come here, little kids, sit on my lap kind of thing, which is a ministry promoting sodomy and whose website contains photos of group sex and other pornography. Robinson does not preach the gospel. He has rejected the gospel and instead preaches the sin of sodomy. These facts about Robinson were all known by the House of Deputies before they voted to approve Robinson as an Episcopal bishop. God has clearly stated that Robinson's lifestyle and the conduct he promotes is a sin. You too, CE. Have a great rest of your day. Happy New Year, sir. There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Deuteronomy 23:17. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is abomination. Leviticus 18:22. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Ah, shit, got him. In order for Robinson to be instilled as a bishop, it was necessary for him to be confirmed by the Episcopal General Convention. Robinson was later confirmed by the General Convention in a vote of bishops, where 62 bishops voted to confirm Robinson and 43 voted against his confirmation. Confirmation of Robinson, not surprising when one considers the type of people who make up the leadership of the Episcopal Church. John Shelby Sponge retired as Episcopal Bishop of New Jersey. For his entire career in the Episcopal Church, he wrote and preached against every tenet of the Christian faith. Bishop Sponge did not believe in the virgin birth, the doctrine of the incarnation, the deity of Christ, the resurrection, or the existence of God. David Jenkins, who was consecrated as the Bishop of Durham, which is the fourth highest post in the Episcopal Church, scorned the bodily resurrection of Jesus Christ as a conjuring trick with bone. The Episcopal Church's theology is satanic, so it is no wonder there are such characters running it. Like the Catholic Church, the Episcopal Church teaches the false salvation by works through the 7 so-called sacraments of infant baptism, confirmation, penance, Eucharist, holy order, matrimony, and unction. The Episcopal Church also teaches that during consecration, the bread and wine of communion is transubstantiated into the actual body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ. The doctrine of transubstantiation is patent idolatry and blasphemy. I'm going to have to talk about my pastor with this one. The transformation of the Episcopal Church into a child of the great harlot of Babylon was accomplished by crypto-Jews and crypto-Catholics working with the Episcopal Church. And there you go. That's the end of chapter 7. I'm going to wrap this. I'm getting really hungry, actually. Holy crap. So, I'm going to eat. And then I don't know if they answered Kitten's question about helping her later on or not. But I might be back with some GTA. If not GTA, I will indeed be back with something. So hope to see you there. Holy crap. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody in the chat and Discord. And shout out to Char, Kitten, and MGTOW Cowboy, or in MGTOW Outlaw. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Ugh. I got the hiccups really bad. Hold on. I will be. Wow. Got pooping while standing. SCE. The Master Wrench is good seeing you, sir. Jackal Hunter. Bingus! Always a pleasure, sir. Make sure to check out Primo Living BC here on YouTube. He does Call of Duty, as well as Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption 2. With your boy here, Chaos. MGTOW Outlaw for your MGTOW Manosphere and Red Pill content. Char Aznabel. If you want to see someone drive around in like an 80-year-old Asian lady that just don't give a fuck in some really nice cars, be sure to go check out Crystal Kitten in her Need for Speed and Grand Theft Auto 5 videos. Cars don't last very long, y'all. And neither does she. She likes to eat them bullets, yo. It's Crystal What's Cover Kitten. And make sure to check out Mr. Hemi 4-Speed and his mulligan and his criminaling sprees. Grand Theft Auto 5. Thank you to those that are still subscribed. Your support has been greatly appreciated. And thank you to those just recently subscribed. Do hope you stick around for the long run. I'll be back again later on. Hope to see you there. Until next time, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever it is you hail from. I'm out this bitch. Peace.
Don't touch me there.
What?
What do you do, buckaroo?
My no square.
Dealing with the cops is going grocery shopping. And,
Oh, yeah.
yep. They decided they wanted to,
Don't touch me there. My no square.
No,
Were they
touch
nosing?
me there. This is my no square.
Ooh,
No,
illegal
don't
part?
touch me there. No, my no square. No, don't touch me there. This is my no square. No, don't touch me there. My no square.
Know what it's about? Bang Angry Bird?
Don't touch me there. My no square.
I just noticed this.
Touch me there.
When I get home,
My no square.
about an hour later.
Touch me there. Touch me there. My no square. Touch me there.
Oh, not fuck the, no. Not fuck the police, fuck the politicians and lawyers that enable this kind of
Touch me
bullshit.
there.
Because look at it like this. Exactly, but at the end of the day, they are just doing their job. Like the rest of us.
Ossifer?
Yep,
So they didn't do it the last 5 or 6 years
yep, I'm aware.
because they're fucking assholes.
They have become assholes because of the politicians and lawyers that have enabled it.
And
Since
just
when?
for shits and giggles,
They've
when I
always
got
been
back-
assholes.
Well, to a degree. Some of them you do it because they enjoy that power trip.
Riggs might
Um,
have a neighbor that didn't like the look of it, so he.
It's imposing my
That's what I think it
space.
might
In
be
anyone's
is-
direction in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It makes my yard look ugly. Oh my god, come and move it.